Okay, so now that I've showed you how to do a takedown, get on top, maintain top position, work knee and belly, get a mount, run it to back mount, run it back to mount, stay on top, stay control. All that sounds fantastic, but you know what really stinks is sometimes we end up underneath all of that. So now I want to teach you guys how to get out of being in a mounted position so that you can get back on top or get up to your feet and strike and those kind of things. So here's where we're going to go with this, starting from mount position, because that's the hardest one to get out of. I'm laying down. My opponent is in a mounted position. The first one to do and the easiest one to understand, but which is also the least effective one when you're wrestling someone who has a clue about what they're doing, but works really well on everybody else, is the trap and roll. Now the trap and roll is relatively simple. I'm going to take this hand, swing it around here, trap this arm to my belly, just like this. I'm going to take this foot, and I'm going to trap his foot just like this. I'm going to take this hand right under this armpit here, and I'm going to hit it like this, and I'm going to bridge, which means I'm going to pick my butt up off the floor and drive it towards this hand, which is towards you guys, the camera right now. So we don't want to roll straight to our side, we want to roll over our shoulder, this left one right here. So I've got the arm trapped, I've got the leg trapped, I've got this hand that's going to come here, I'm going to pick my bottom up and bridge over into the guard, which looks like this. Which is a trap and roll. So we're going to go back. Good. Now, that's the basic version. One more time. Hand locks the arm all the way to your belly. Sometimes I'll hold my clothes or I'll hold their clothes. That makes it hard for them to get their hand out. You can clasp your hands together to hold it tight, but I like to have this hand free so I can bridge this shoulder over. This left leg's going to trap the foot here. So now that I have both of those things trapped, this hand's going to kick over. I'm going to bridge over my left shoulder, pick my bottom up off the floor, trap and roll. Posturing up, elbows in, just like this, always. Do not stay down here. That's how you get submitted. Sit up here, hands in the hips, just like this. That way we can work on getting away or passing the guard. The next one that we're going to do is the worm drill. Now this one is the most effective one. It also happens to be the one that I do all the time. I don't really do anything else. I worm drill. I go to the trap and roll, and then I go back to the worm drill if it doesn't work. I go back and forth between the two, but here's the idea. I'm going to take my hands, put them on the hips. I'm going to bridge my butt up in the air to get his weight off of me. And then I'm going to turn all the way to my left side, just like this. Bridge, hands, left side. Now as you can see, my left foot went straight and it's flat on the mat. My right knee is in his butt so he can't scoot his hips back down and mess with me. Now from there, my hands are going to ball up and get right here on his leg. And I'm going to use my foot to push me down the mat. I'm going to pull my knee to my chest. Going to trap this leg. I'm going to turn all the way to the other side. I'm going to scoot my butt towards the camera from underneath my opponent. I'm going to bring my knee up into his hip, my left leg across his back, scoot my hips until I can go to my full guard. One more time. You're going to put your hands on his hips, you're going to bridge, turn all the way to your left side, straighten your left leg, right knee stays in the butt, just like this. From there, I'm going to push the knee down, elbows, hands, I like my elbows. You're going to push, pull the knee up, trap, turn to the other side, knee goes in the hip, left foot across the back, scoot the hips out until I can go back to my guard. And that is how we go from a mounted position to our guard. The next one is sitting out. This one's cool because it gets us back up to our feet, gets us into a dominant position. This one works really well as well. So what we're going to do is the same thing, except I'm going to go to my right side since you guys are already right there. I'm gonna pop this up, turn to my right side, straighten my leg, pushing this knee up, trapping here. Then I'm gonna turn all the way to this side, and I'm gonna sit up and put my ear on his chest and get up to my arm. Now from there, if you can see over here, I have this overhook. I don't ever do this here. What this does is it keeps me on the ground, so it keeps me underneath my opponent, and it keeps me trapped on the ground. I can't get up unless I let go of it. So I don't ever hook this leg like this, which is what I learned in traditional jiu-jitsu. I always hook the outside leg like this. So I sit up, ear to the chest, knee in his butt. Now from there, I'm going to kick him in his butt, switch my hips out, and get to my knees. I'm going to come here and get to my knees. Now, we don't ever want to leave our leg back there. So as soon as I kick out, I'm going to run up my opponent's body to get a good grip, step my leg to the side so that I can move. Or a cool one is you can just crush his calf. Now I'm going to put my knee on the floor, but I can literally just stick my shin and knee right here on his leg and just crush it. And that's a good hold position too. I can sit here like this, reach under here like this. So this keeps him in place as well. I would do that when I'm being mean. But if you're working with your opponent, you can just move your hip to here, or you can set your knee on the mat. This is just dangerous. It might get you submitted. One more time. Gonna pop the hips up, turn it to the right side, push it down, trap it, stand up, knee him in the butt, transition to the side. The last one is the dip set. This one's just cool and fun for you to try. Okay, so same all the way to the half guard sit out. I'm gonna pop the hips, turn to the side, push, trap, get up. Now, what usually happens when I get here is my opponent starts trying to be heavy on this hip and push me back to the mat. Okay, so he's trying to push me back to the mat. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slide under him and trap this leg. So if you come over here, you can see where I can trap this leg and turn my opponent over. So I'm underneath him here. I'm gonna come under here and I'm gonna trap this leg just like this. Hold on to here, nice and tight, and I'm gonna pull this foot back. See? Now, I'm not gonna roll. I'm gonna scoot. I'm gonna move me, because right now I've pulled his weight up on top of me, see? And I'm gonna scoot my hips. So I move me, he falls off the other side. And that's our dip set. That rolls our opponent over. Right here, we pop the hips up, turn to our side, trap it, come to this side, I get up, trying to get out the back door, he starts trying to knock me down, so I come under, grab the leg, you can hold the pants, you can even scoot under here, this works too, and then start scooting you, not trying to roll him. Scoot, 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 he falls off, I move into my side control position. And that is dip set from being mounted.